You walked out of that investor meeting feeling like it went well. They said, this is really interesting. They said, let's stay in touch. And then nothing. I sat in on 48 investor pitch meetings this year, not as the founder, as the one watching in the room. And the gap between the founders who walked out with term sheets and the ones who walked out with, we'll circle back, came down to these three things. It's not the deck. It's not the market size. It's not the product. Three things every closing founder did, and almost no one teaches. So the first thing is the founders who closed did their homework on the investor before they walked into that room, not just their portfolio, what they care about, what they've said publicly, what deals they've led and why, and then used it. They walked in and made a connection before the pitch even started. Maybe referenced something specific, asked a real question, treated it like a first meeting with someone they actually wanted a relationship with. So the founder who got passed on walks in and immediately goes into presentation mode, decks open, slides ready, pitch on autopilot. The investors who ended up passing told some version of the same thing. They never felt like the founder saw them as a person or even cared about them being the right strategic relationship, because investments are really like a marriage. So do the research, use it as that first step, and put it out in the first couple minutes, and then the pitch is going to land a lot differently, because that's where the real conversation is happening. This one sounds almost too simple, but I watch it change the energy of a room every time. The founders who close ask the investor a question before launching into the pitch. Would you prefer I walk through the deck formally, or would you rather have a casual conversation and go where the questions take us? And that's it. One question. The nervous founders, the ones who were rushing because they had 12 slides, a certain amount of minutes, and all this adrenaline running, they never really asked. They just went. And the founders who asked gave the investor control of the room, and not realizing now that as the founder, you have control. The investor is in control and able to ask better questions, and they're staying more engaged, and you feel more relaxed. And you get an insight into exactly what they want to see. You're no longer guessing what matters to them. They're directly kind of telling you. The third thing is the founders who closed were specific about their ask and what it actually returns. It's not a detailed breakdown of how the $1 million gets spent. It's what the capital unlocks and what market it opens and what revenue becomes possible because of it. What the business looks like in 18 months with the raise close versus without it, it's got to show that hyper growth. Investors aren't looking to fund expenses. They're looking for a path to a return. The founders who closed painted that path in very, very clear numbers. For example, the raise gets us 2 million ARR and puts in front of 3 enterprise contracts we haven't been able to close on because of current capacity. The founders who list out their budget line by line watch the investors' eyes glaze over, because a spreadsheet does not tell investors where that money is going. It tells them where yours is. So you want to show them that path forward, not the cost of getting there. 48 meetings, 3 patterns, do the research, and make the human connection before you pitch. Ask how they want to run the meeting and tell them exactly what the capital returns, not what it costs. All 3 are in your control before the next meeting. Make sure you're following along, because I share more weekly insights on fundraising and the tactics behind over $95 million that I've helped raise.